Today on our Thanksgiving episode, we have a very special guest. I'm the Geeky Dad, Raphael Moran, and our guest today is Jacques Nyemb, and he is the head honcho, man in charge, the big boss, the head creator of Not So Super Publishing, and it's a great publishing company with a very diverse set of content. You know, from comic books, graphic novels, anthologies, children's books. It's a great company. Check it out at notsosuper.pub. And today, he's going to talk about being a dad, being a geek, being a creator, and just hang out, talk about stuff. The kids are also going to review one of his books, so hang in there. It's different from our past episodes, but it's all going to be fun. All right, kids. Now, this week we're not going to rot your brain with, watching a cartoon or watching some superhero movie or anything like that. Today, we're going to be smart. We're going to be reading something, okay?
Yay. No.
What do you mean, no?
I love reading. I like reading.
What do you mean you don't like reading?
I like more DC and Marvel and Star Wars stuff.
You can't just read comic books all the time.
No. Sometimes they're not comic books. He's only 6. So the ones that he reads on Sora is like baby books.
Oh, whatever. No superheroes today, okay? Today, we're reading a book. But do you remember the name of the book?
Yes, it's Gumgah and the Grumpledonk.
Gumgah and the Grumpledonk. Donk.
Yeah.
Fine. Okay. And the writer of the book is his name is Jacques Nyemb, and the artist is Micheline Hess. And the work in that book is very, very good. She really draws the book very well.
Yeah.
And the writer is also very good. He wrote a very, very good book.
Yeah, he's a writer and a publisher.
Yes. Can you tell us, Ariana, what is this book about?
Okay. This is about a girl who...
What's her name?
This is about a girl named Gumgah who thinks there is a monster in her closet.
Ah. So you were dealing with a little bit of fairy
tale.
I guess you could call it a fairy tale. It's
no.
It's a little bit like Monsters at Work, right? Monsters Inc.
Yeah. No.
What do you mean no? There were monsters in the closet in that one.
Yes.
Yes.
But in this, she might just be dreaming. Yeah.
Oh, wait, you think she was dreaming in this story?
Yeah. Because whenever at the end of the story, it shows, sometimes, when at the end of the story, when the person goes to sleep again, they probably just keep sleeping.
So you think she was dreaming?
Yeah.
I don't think she was dreaming.
Well, monsters isn't real. Aren't.
We know monsters aren't real, but this is a story. It's not a biographical true story, okay? It's a fairy tale, okay?
I know. It's not a
It's a
fairy
fiction.
tale.
Fiction.
It's fiction, yes.
Yes. So don't think of it as a real thing.
But if it's based on someone's life, then I think it's narrative nonfiction. Or something. I just learned about it in class, but it was not my last unit.
Well, okay. By the way, how old are you, Ariana?
9.
Now, how old are you?
6.
Rayon?
6.
6. Okay. Anyhow, I like this story because it kind of reminded me of a lot of stories and movies I used to watch when I was a kid, a little bit like Gremlins, a little bit, why? The little Grumpledonk looks a little bit like
Does the Grumpledonk turn into a giant, crazy, nightmare-looking?
No, but he kind of reminds me of Gizmo.
Gizzy?
No?
Yes, has 6 arms.
Well, so.
It likes
Oh,
Stitch.
I was gonna say he's kind of like Stitch.
I would say it's because it's like Stitch, because I have the Stitch toy, which has stitches in it. As he's like Gizmo, he would be like, well, Grogu.
A little bit of Grogu. But, you know, whatever. Okay? All of those creatures and the kid stories
It's smaller, like a few inches.
should be their own genre of thing. Because there's a lot of stories like that.
I think
but
that a Grumpledonk is probably like a few inches.
it is like a little...
Probably. So it's smaller than like those things that we just said.
Yeah, well...
It's probably like a Imaginex full of stuffy. No, not a stuffy. Probably Imaginex. Or maybe the nutcrackers that we have. Or maybe some of the ornaments.
You guys are just rambling, okay?
Oh, wait. Maybe it's Raiden's. It's like as big as Raiden's Olaf.
Can we go back to the story?
Okay.
Okay? Now, Gumgah, she can't go to sleep, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because...
Yeah, she keeps hearing... she's scared. She keeps... scratches.
Scratch.
In the closet.
Scratch.
Yeah.
Probably like this closet.
When I was reading it, I thought it was going to be a cat.
Because you saw the cat outside.
Yeah, because I saw the cat. But it's actually...
It can't be that obvious.
No. It was actually a magical creature inside of her closet.
Obviously.
That goes there on vacation.
Obviously.
Yes.
That's not obvious, but yeah.
And he's looking for a special magical thing called the what?
The Doogie Bean.
Yes.
It's a bean.
Yes, it's a Doogie Bean.
Raiden would definitely not want to eat that.
I don't think you're supposed to eat a Doogie Bean.
Of course not. They'll be teleporting a whole bunch of different places. I would
Well,
never
yes.
eat it.
So, this magical bean, they're looking for this bean. It's glowing, and then...
It's like a dark brown.
Right.
Golden dark brown.
Okay,
And
then...
they needed to get the Grumpledonk home.
Yes, they need to get home with that. So, at the end, they find it.
Grumpledonk goes home.
And then
he promises her that he'll always go there for vacation.
Yes, because her closet
he goes to sleep in her,
is the best closet he's ever been to.
But
Mm-hmm.
what if he goes to the place the next day at night, and her parents are like, clean up your closet, your closet. She cleans up the closet. Why would he go?
Yeah, well, he'll probably go back and be like, I don't like this closet anymore.
Or he'd probably do it because he likes him.
Yeah, well, maybe. Anyhow, the Grumpledonk goes back. Grumpledonk, yes, goes back to his magical realm, and Gumgah goes back to sleep. And
goes to sleep.
Well, yeah, she goes to sleep.
In the closet.
In the closet, yes.
And they found it under one of her tutus, so she probably has a whole bunch of tutus. She probably does ballet.
Maybe she does ballet, yes. Anyhow, she goes to sleep, and her parents find her asleep, and...
They do?
I'm assuming they find her asleep.
Or she just wakes up.
No. And the end, they might have a...
Sequel.
I think might have a sequel. It does leave it open for a sequel. I like it because, it's finally this type of story where it's actually a person of color. Because all these other stories where the little magical creature is always like a little white boy or a white girl,
Like
it's
Aurora and Cinderella.
Right. Oh, no. Yeah. So it's a nice to see a different perspective on these type of genres. And it's good to have these type of stories out there.
Especially if it's Jasmine.
Yes. Okay. And how would you rate this? Thumbs up.
Thumbs up with even my toes.
Even with your toes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about you, Rayanna? How would you?
Same?
Same?
Especially if it's like a book. I like books.
I know you like books. So you're going to give it thumbs up even with your toes?
No. Yeah.
No, not with your toes?
No. Yes.
Just for your thumbs up?
Yeah.
Okay.
I got 4 thumbs up, that means.
I don't know if your toe counts as
They count.
Okay. Well, I'm giving it a thumbs up too. So, check out this book at Not So Super Publishing at notsosuper.pub. We gave it a thumbs up. Okay, today I'm with Jacques Nyemb, right? I got it right?
Yep, you got it right. Perfect.
Can you tell the audience about yourself?
Okay. My name is Jacques Nyemb. I am the publisher, writer, hats wearer, but illustrator for Not So Super Publishing. I've been doing this for the past 10 years. That's my moonlight yet fun job, but I also am, and during my day job, I'm also an art director for a company where I do graphics and web and all that other fun stuff. But I'm also a dad, a geek dad. That might be why I'm on this podcast today. I also am a father. Yeah, I'm a father of 2 daughters, and they make my life fantastic. They make everything worth it. So that pretty much sums me up in a nutshell.
And you have the honor of being the first guest.
I'm excited. I'm honored.
Yeah. Well, when I originally started,
no pressure.
When I originally started this podcast, this is what I wanted it to be about. This dads like us, especially we're geek dads of color. You don't see that much.
Yeah. Yeah, that is true. That is true.
So
yeah.
Can you tell us about the books that you're working on right now?
Okay. Right now, I'm actually working on a very interesting book. I'm working with an artist called Michael Nino, and he does some very good old school looking comics. And one of the comics that I'm currently working on it's a book of mysteries. It's something that I've enjoyed. As a kid, I was born in a country called Cameroon, Africa, and there when I was from 0 to 11, that's where I lived, and there was a book that I really enjoyed, which is a comic called Ludovic, which was a Belgian French comic book which I used to read. And what I loved about it, it showed mysteries, and you had to solve the mysteries. You read the comic and figure out what the mystery is and solve it. And when I grew up here, I could never find any comic book that did something like that. So I worked with my friend Michael Nino, who's done fantastic work. His work he does great art that looks like a time period that I wanted to capture, and I wanted to create a comic of a detective that solves crime. And as you read the comic book, there's hints of the crimes, and you try to solve it. And it was just a fun idea that I've had for the past 10 years, and really wanted to do it. And I had time to actually write the script and make the comic, and it's coming along very nicely, and I really am excited and really am looking forward to sharing it with everyone. But it's moving along very well, and I'll be sharing more about that as we get to a good spot for me to share. But that's my current project.
Yeah, I had the kids review Gumgah and Grumpledonk. Is that am I saying that right?
Yes, you said that perfectly. Yep.
Okay. I love the book. I felt like it had a lot of like influences of the 80s, like E.T. a little bit, and a little bit of Gremlins.
Yep. Yep. A little bit of that. There was a little bit of Gremlin. Yep. Yep.
You should work on getting that little plush toy out of that.
Yeah, I was working with Micheline, and I was saying, if I can get to that point where I can turn that into a plush, I really will want to do that, because I think it would be a good accompaniment with the book, because kids love that character. So I'm thinking of ways to use it a little bit better, but for now, to get stickers.
You plan to revisit that character?
Yes. Yeah, I do plan on actually writing another story where you visit the Grumpledonk's world. So
I was gonna say that would have been a good idea. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the next story. I want Gumgah to actually go in the closet and get lost in that world, so that we can see the other side.
Would you be able to get Micheline back?
She's pretty big right now. No, she's pretty big, but we've been chatting. I keep in contact with my with the folks I've worked with, and we kind of have a good relationship. So
That's
hopefully.
good. That's good.
But everyone is blowing up though. Everyone I've worked with is like, I love having worked with them, but it's like now it takes longer to get in contact with people now. But we still have good relationships.
But it's good for you when they blow up. People want to check out their past work. That's trickles down to you.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. True.
We met. I think it's probably like 10 years ago.
Yes, it was before I even thought about publishing.
Yeah, I was a writer doing comic books, and I wanted to get my name out there in different venues. We were working together on an unnamed comic site. I don't want to say the name.
Yeah.
There was some trouble there, and we both like jumped ship at the same time.
Yeah.
But we kept in touch just basically through social media and stuff like that.
Yeah.
This is basically the first time we're actually talking face to face. This is great.
Yeah, it is. And it's kind of weird. You know someone for a while, but then you realize I haven't really saw you face to face before. This is the first time. It's weird. It's very weird like that, but it's good. It's good to finally see you face to face and be able to chat.
And I do watch you on social media, and I am really inspiring me as a dad, because you are really a great dad from what I've seen.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Stop. I don't know how to take compliments. Okay. I appreciate it.
How do you mix your geekiness with your fatherhood? Do you like bring some of your old things that you liked and give it to your kids and see if they like it?
Yeah, that one of the things I've always done is kind of, I think my geekiness comes from, my dad was more repressed of his geekiness, but the things that he enjoyed, he did in a weird way share them with me. Like if there was comics, even though he treated it like I'm grown and I can't do this anymore, he still got a comic book and handed it to me, even though he didn't really quite interact with it. But now, but him sharing those comics with me made me enjoy it, and I like them, and it opened up something to me. But unlike him, I'm more of, I enjoy this, and I'm like, hey, check this out, look at what I like, and I kind of I share it with my kids more than my father was with me. But I do appreciate that he did share it with me. So with my kids, like recently, I during the pandemic, I had them discover Pokemon, just out of the blue, because they're within that age. I remember being their age, and I was just like, this is gonna be something they're gonna be interested in. And I was right. They looked at it, and now they're obsessed. And I showed them, comics, and they started reading some Spider-Man. My youngest is liking Spider-Man. So it's just little things that I know, they will enjoy. But in the same vein, I like to give them room to like whatever it is they like, and feel comfortable enough to want to share it with me, because I would like to know what they like too. So it's a fun thing. It's fun to me.
Yeah, my daughter, any female superhero she loves.
Yeah.
So it's like, and my son only likes like Robin and let's see, Batman and Spider-Man.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So the two of them are always clashing. Which one's better?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine are kind of like that too, and they like Miss Marvel, the new one, the new Miss Marvel. That they definitely do like that one. It's fun. It's fun watching them enjoy what I enjoy, but I also like seeing the stuff they like. They like Legos and building things and all this other stuff, which I enjoy hanging out with them and watching.
That's what I do too. That's why I say we're very much alike. We're very much alike.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's why you're the perfect guest.
Hey, I'm glad to be here. I'm telling you, I'm very happy to be here.
Okay. Where can people buy your books? From the website only, or do you have other venues?
Right now, it's the website and convention. one of the things for the past 10 years, one of the things that I've been really working on is because I work in marketing in my day job, brand awareness. That's what I've been working on for many years. It's more of a consolidating everything in one place so that people can find me quickly and not having to say, go to Amazon, but don't click here and look for this store. You know, it's easier to just say, go to notsosuper.pub, and you'll find everything related to my work. And what it has done for me, it's made it so that every time people go on the website, they are part of a newsletter. They're part of knowing, I know who have purchased things before. It makes me smarter in terms of where I need to be and what I need to share. And also, I also don't have to, with Amazon paying a lot of fees, it's just, you don't really gain anything out of it, even though a lot of people enjoy, saying that their stuff is on there. For me, I rather see the numbers of people coming in and having the audience contained within my bubble rather than me trying to get Amazon, Facebook, Instagram, all those things to make it work. I'd rather my website be the hub. And then if I feel like putting it elsewhere, I can do that. And so everyone can find me on my website, but I do plan on being a little more strategic in terms of where I'm at and where I place things. But for now, the website and conventions, they've been doing me well. I don't see why I need to add more complexity while being a dad and working and all this and trying to manage inventory and all this other stuff. I don't have the time for it right now, but I hope to reach that point someday.
Yeah. Well, like you, I did take a little break from creating comic books and stories, and this decided just to be a dad, and that took up a lot of time,
Yeah.
And I thought, okay, after the first kid, I'll take a couple of years. Then another kid came, then another kid came, So
yeah.
It is snowball. But I have a lot of books myself I'm working on, and this is just a way to build up my my media empire back.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. But it's a good choice. I mean, I don't regret the time I'm taking with my kids.
Of course,
I've said and I've seen a lot of, not insulting anybody doing their thing. Do what you want, but for me, that rat race, you can always jump into it whenever, but
right.
Your kids, there's a very finite amount of time that you'll be there in their lives. So I'd rather be there than run into that rat race and mess up that opportunity, to be with my kids. So
especially when they're young.
Yeah, especially when they're young. Exactly. They're only young for a very small period of time.
At this age, they think you're like a superhero, basically,
Yep.
That's the best part.
So enjoy it before they're teenagers and hate you.
And this is why I do the show with them sometimes, So I can look back at it one day and just listen to them, Because when they're teenagers, they might not want to do anything with me.
Yeah, exactly. Enjoy every moment. Yeah, my kids, I took, especially my older. She's always been my convention buddy. She always been with me, and she draws. She likes to do commissions and stuff herself, and they both are writing. They love to write, So I can't trade that, I can't trade that, to try to make it at Marvel. I can't trade this time for that.
Right.
Maybe someday, but not right now.
Unless they do come with an offer.
No, yeah, it has to be a very nice offer. It has to be a nice one. It has to be a nice one.
Has been being a dad, has it influenced your work, like your stories?
It has. Gumgah and the Grumpledonk has been a twist that happened really because I became a dad.
Right.
Children's
I could
books,
tell.
Yeah, because children's books, I thought about them, but it wasn't until, I was reading so many books to my daughters, and it's just like, I can make one. And, the book itself is directly inspired because my Liz, who is my oldest, used to call me Gumgah when she was an infant. She used to say Gumgah because I don't know why she just said Gumgah. We cannot figure out where she got that from, but that's what she called me. And when she used to be grumpy, we used to call her Grumpledonk. And just those two words just kind of was like, oh, we need to write a book, Gumgah and the Grumpledonk. And from that, it spiraled into the book that it ended up being. But I'm directly inspired by them. And I also write even the more adult things that I'm writing right now and things that are a little older. I think about them as they grow up. Right. And what side of me I want them to see, So I always see it that way. Like whatever I write, it's kind of like, I want you to see a moment of your dad's brain and what he was thinking when he wrote this. And I write in that manner. It's more that way than it is. I'm not writing to shock anybody. I'm not writing to do something. More like writing to share a moment with them when they're older. And that's how I write things. So it's they definitely do influence my work, and I do like that.
Right. Yeah. Are you ever thought about actually working with a story with her?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We are right now. We constantly are working. But one thing that I'm trying to do, one thing that's very important to me is I give them space to ask, to tell me when they want me to be involved, rather than me. Like, one mistake as parents I think we sometimes do is we see our kids walking in our footsteps and we just start forcing until they hate it and they don't want to be part of it anymore. So I kind of like,
I tend to do that a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. I was like, do you need some help with this? Do you want us to chat? Let's chat. She comes in and tell me about her characters and we just kind of work on it. And I just let her do her thing, and then we come back and we work together. I just try not to force it because I fear that if I force too hard, because I know, if you push a kid somewhere, then they start hating it. They don't want to do it anymore. And I don't want them to hate. I want them to find it as a fun thing to do with me rather than a job. So for now, I do help them, but we kind of work together, but I'm not saying we're going to sell this or do anything. It's more like, enjoy writing, just keep enjoying writing. And then we'll work toward, we go to conventions and we'll sell your hand-drawn ones, and we'll do little things so they can feel more and more confident and enjoy it and not feel forced to do it, so yeah.
That's good. I'm working with my daughter on a story right now, and I'm trying to balance that same thing that you're talking about. The hard thing to urge myself not to like take over, but
it's hard.
I gotta try.
It's hard.
It's hard. Yeah.
Because you already know, so you're trying to help, but part of them learning is them making the mistake, and because I noticed that when I step back and they're like, oh, this is not making sense, and they start 2 and 2. Oh, so that's why you do this. It makes sense. But when Dad tells you, it's more like, you just don't understand my creative genius, and it's like, no, there's a structure, there's a reason, but then you make them angry and they don't want to do it again and don't want to work with you.
So this is the Geeky Dad. So what is making you geeky at the moment?
At the moment, the biggest thing that's making me geeky is I've been reading a lot of I don't know why, but I've been sticking with old Darwin Cook comics.
Oh yeah,
you've heard
Darwin Cook, yeah.
And there's one in particular that I've been geeking out over, and it might be because I'm writing this mystery book, so I'm really liking this Parker.
Oh yes,
and that
was a good one.
Yeah, and I recently got. I'm gonna step for 2 seconds. I got this coffee table book of his, and it's the Parker Richard Stark, Darwin Cook Parker, and I just the art and everything on it, the old school comics and everything. It's just a very, very good book, and the page it chose to fall on was weird, but yeah, it's just a very well designed, multicolored beautiful art. So
I
I've
love
just been
Darwin
geeking
Cook.
over
Darwin
that.
Cook is great.
Yeah, his work has always been amazing to me, and he's.
I met him years
peace.
ago, and he's a great guy too.
Yeah, yeah. I've always wanted to meet him, but he's since passed.
Probably get him to sign that book.
Yeah, I wish. But yeah, it's I've been geeking out on that. As I mentioned earlier, I've been playing with Legos with my kids, building stuff. We've been building things together. Watching the Lego show too on Hulu. We've been binging on those. So, just 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 I know we talk about comics and other stuff. I've also, as you can see, my background, I have records and listening to records and old music has been one of the things that I geek out on. So
geeking out doesn't have to be just comics; it's just anything.
Yeah. And just we just recently moved, so having this space for myself has just been the best thing for me. I'm just geeking out in my own space, which is something I haven't had in years. So I've been enjoying that.
It's kind of like your little man cave, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's been very helpful to be creative in here. So it's helped a lot.
Right. So besides that book, what else do you got cooking?
Besides that book, I have two other books. I have a book of short stories that I wrote. They are very genre-bending stories. I have 6 stories that I put into a book that just explore like in 2020, there was a lot of talk about race and a whole lot of different things and a whole lot of different people writing different stories. I wanted to write something that explored race, especially being Black in America, but explored it in a way that was genre bending and interesting and explored a bunch of different things without it being browbeating and make people feel uncomfortable and not want to read it at all. I wanted to write something that is very interesting, that explores it, that talks about it, but that is entertaining to read. So I wrote 6 different short stories, from one that is a sci-fi story, another story that is comedy, another one that is exploring a whole bunch of different genres, fantasy. I just dumped it all in there just because I wanted to explore it, but I wanted to write something different. So that's another book that I'm working on. A third one is on Twitter. I posted something a couple of years ago. I asked a bunch of artists, do you mind sending me some art? Do you mind? Let's work together on a book. I just want to collaborate with artists. I want to have a jam session. If you want to be part of it, let's be part of it. I write 3 sentences and artists draw what comes to mind, either a comic book page or one illustration, whatever. And I did over 20 something of them, 20 pages of it, and then finally turned it into a book. And I'm finishing it up right now. I'm doing the final layout and I'm getting a cover done for it. And that book will be out as well. So that's 3 books that I'm currently working on. So
I'm gonna look forward to that. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll see how those turns out.
All right. When we return, I will give you some of the questions my kids had for you. Okay. You probably answered some of them already, but Anyhow, we'll be right back. And we're back. I had my kids pre-record some questions for you. And, because we're doing this interview past their bedtime. But the problem is, you seem to have answered some of their questions already during the interview. But, I thought you'd want to hear them tell you their questions anyhow, okay? This is from my daughter, Ariana.
My name is Ariana Das, and I have 2 questions for you. Why does the Grumpledonk like messy closets? And what inspired you to write this book?
Okay. For this story, the Grumpledonk visits closets because they're to Grumpledonk, closets are the best vacation spots for them. In their worlds, they enjoy hopping into different universes, and closets to them are fascinating, and they are vacation destinations in their world. So they hop into all kinds of closets, and to them, it's an adventure, the things that they can find and take back to their world. So um, that's the reason why they visit closets in this world, in this book. Okay. What inspired to write this book is earlier is my daughter, my oldest daughter. When she was little, she used to call me Gumgah, and so the name Gumgah was the thing that popped up, and the Grumpledonk was the nickname I gave her when she was a little baby. She used to be when she used to be angry or grumpy, we used to call her Grumpledonk. So the story was inspired with that interaction, and then one day a lot of the story actually really happened. My daughter used to be afraid of things in her closet. So we were finding ways to kind of get her to not be afraid about what's in there. So we just kind of made things up about what's in there just to make her laugh and feel secure and safe. And so the story just kind of popped in my head as, oh, I should write this as a story. And the rest is what we see now.
Okay, now this is the next batch of questions from my son. He's 6 years old. He has a slight lisp. It's cute the way he talks, in my opinion. But if you have a hard time understanding, just let me know. Okay? Just here we go.
My name is Raya Das. I'm 6 years old. I also have two questions. Is the story based on a real person? And how did you come up with the names of the characters?
Now, most of his questions you already answered anyway. But you don't have to really answer. But what do you think?
Right. Okay. Yeah. That I answered both of their questions in one go.
Yeah.
Thank you both. I would like to thank them both for asking. I really do appreciate it. I'm glad to hear them ask those questions. It makes me happy that they read and they care to know what it's about. For that, if you give me an address, I can send them a signed copy of the book if you would like if you would like me to. I don't mind.
You would love that. Yeah.
Okay. I could send one. I'd be happy to do that.
Yeah, it's good. That you get them to know about your your culture and stuff like that. Where you grew up.
Yeah, they know about my childhood and everything else, but in terms of books, it's been hard for me to find anything. For like my childhood, it's just been hard to find any books, or I've been asking my dad, old family members, can you find something? It's just been hard to find my childhood stuff.
Have you ever taken him back to visit?
We have seen our family. We have chatted. We talked to our family. It's just that the trip to Cameroon is beyond.
Long one, right?
Yeah. It's a lot. But my kids know about their family in Cameroon, and my father, he's here. He's from Cameroon as well, and he's been teaching us our native language because I learned some of it, but he never taught all of it to me. So now he's teaching all of us, which is great because that he's retired and has time. So he's sitting down and teaching us our language so that we can keep moving on and not just leave with him, So that's been a good experience for us lately.
Yeah, you ever thought about doing a book set in Cameroon or?
Yeah, been thinking about it. Especially some of the stories that my father used to talk about in his childhood. I've been wanting to write them. There's been something in me that some of these stories are very unique. I did want to write some of them, So I do have plans over the next year or so to just kind of sit down with him, get a little tape recorder, and start listening to him tell me stories so that I can write them into books that I can have in Cameroon, but also just keep keep some of these stories because I don't want them to be forgotten. So
Right, right.
mm.
So any upcoming Comic Cons you're going to be attending, or you didn't plan
Right,
that ahead?
I do have a couple. I have there is a con called Virtuous Con, which is a virtual convention. There's very small local cons in North Carolina that I'll be attending to. Some that are in Durham, North Carolina, and just really small convention. Right now, I'm doing small just because I'm still getting my feet back out there.
Yeah.
But I'm open to any convention that wants to have me. I'm open to be there. But in terms of my own choices, I'm just kind of choosing close local places that I can just get my feet back into going to conventions every weekend like I used to.
I attended a con right here in Brooklyn, where I'm from.
Okay.
It's called I think it's called the Blurred Con.
Okay. Yeah, I've heard of a Blurred Con. Yeah. Yeah.
For those who don't know, it's the Black Nerd. This is Blurred, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I've heard of that convention. Yep, in Brooklyn. Yep.
Yeah, it's a unique atmosphere. It's a more laid back crowd. I dig it more than a regular con.
Okay. Yeah, I was thinking I was supposed to go, but there's something I had to do something with the kids. I don't know. There was some event or something that conflicted, but I was supposed to go because somebody had some tickets for me, but I couldn't go because I had to do something with the children. But
yeah,
I plan on doing more things now. Now
the
that they're a
last
little
time I
older.
took my kids to a Comic-Con, they were too young to even realize they were at a Comic-Con.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How did it end up going for you?
It was fine. We just pushed them around in strollers and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
And we even had them participate in the kid cosplay contest.
Oh, that's nice. It's cute.
They love dressing up for Halloween.
Yeah, mine do too. Being little witches and interesting characters.
You maybe should have them dress up as one of your characters at a Comic-Con. Let them cosplay.
Yeah. I'm trying. Like I said, I'm easing them. I'm easing them slowly. I'm like, oh, what do you think about this? Yes, I'll do it. It was your idea.
You can be Gumgah.
Yeah. That actually my youngest wants to be her, so that works out perfectly for me. So once we go to conventions again, and where she'll probably be that, I think that would be great. And if I can get a plushie, there will be I will sell those books like.
Maybe you can do like a DIY one, sew one up yourself,
Yeah, I could try.
Just take
might scare people away.
Just use like maybe a Grogu doll and just alter it or something.
Yeah. Do some fabric paints and do some work. Get something out there.
Knit some stuff on it, glue some wig or something. I don't know.
I could try. I also scare people from my table. They'll be like, "What is this over here? What's that?"
Or you could sell it. Somebody might want it. Limited edition.
Limited edition, yeah.
Oh, do you have the same problem as I do? I don't know if you collect action figures.
I don't, but I would like to, but I know my addiction to things, so I stop myself.
Yeah,
I collect magazines and books. That's my
problem
collection.
I have. Also, I have the same problem with comic books. I have very old comic books, and I'm scared to give the kids to read them because I'm afraid they will ruin it.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, nah. For me, there's a age of there's an age of responsibility, and that's what I tell the kids is like, when I can trust you, I'll let you
Yeah.
because I've handed them some things like I had duplicates, like a duplicate magazine, and
Right.
I just kind of tell them this is precious and hand it to them, and within 48 hours, I see a page in the living room. So I was like, no, I'm not. You're
Yeah.
not. I'm not giving you any more books until I can
Yeah.
trust that it will survive at least a few minutes in your hands. But
I know. I give him a comic book one time, and between like a couple of hours, the cover's gone.
yeah, yeah. I've had that. I've had that happen. I just like right here. I have old Disney Adventures. You know, I used to like those back in the day. I have a few of those, and I handed one to my kids, and they loved it. They enjoyed it, but just just they have no concept of keeping
Yeah.
it pristine. It's about tearing up pages and bending things, and so I'm like, okay, well, I'll give you some time. We'll try again in a few years.
Well, I have to say it was a pleasure to have you on the show.
It was a pleasure to be on it. Thank you for inviting me. I really appreciate it.
I hope maybe we can you can come back again when you have the new book out.
Okay.
And,
Would love to.
You know, maybe you should start your own podcast as well.
I did start at the beginning of the pandemic in 2020, and it was called the Slow Down Podcast. But then the work that it goes behind making podcasts, I was just like, okay, I'll keep writing comics.
I don't know. I've come up with a easy rhythm. I don't know.
For me, it wasn't easy at all. It was just like what to talk about. I just don't feel my voice is working. I just
Yeah. I mean, our show has been evolving every episode, so.
Oh, okay.
I still haven't found the right groove yet, but hey.
Yeah.
Maybe that's part of the journey. Maybe people will follow the journey too, you know?
Yeah. Grow with you, and once
Basically.
once you find that thing, and
I'm still trying to find my, my radio voice,
Wait, you sound fine to me. I didn't have any problems.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm always critical of myself, all the time.
Yeah, I think that comes part of our territory. I don't know why, but I know I'm there myself. I have to rely on other people's judgment when it comes to if am I doing a good job, because on my end is like I could do way better. I could keep
right. Especially I don't know if you ever had like you get reviews for the books that you did, and then you get like a cringy type of review, like, oh my God, you said that? That's not my intention at all. How did they see that book?
Yeah, I've had a few, and I just had to. The one thing I would say, no one's criticism is harder than mine. So somebody else's criticism really doesn't touch me as much as my own, because I can be way harder on myself than any other person can be. But I've heard some things, and like you said, you're just like, where did you get that from? That's never been. If you followed me, do you know anything about me to say something like that? But
yeah,
some people
like that was not my intention at all.
Yeah.
Or sometimes like you get a review and it's like, you guys totally ripped off this other book. I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I thought this was an original idea.
Yeah. I have to say though, one thing I would say is I'm glad I started before I was able to read Twitter and Facebook and social media comments, because I am very glad, because I at least have a groove. I know how to write and I move forward, because I don't think I would do very well writing in real time and having real time responses online. It's just like, that is, wow. A lot of people can just jump in even before they read something. They already made judgment calls about your work, and it's just like, wow, okay, all right, that's rough.
Yeah. Sometimes I get like just by the title alone, like, what does that mean? You know?
Yeah. What you mean by that?
Yeah.
Where are you going?
That's part of
But
being an author, I guess, you know, a creator.
yeah,
You just got to go with the
yeah,
flow.
yep, that
Personally,
is
when I
true.
write or create, I do things to aim towards my likeness, you know, what I like.
Hmm.
I don't
Yeah.
aim to anybody else, you know.
Hmm. Yeah. That's the same here. It's I make random stuff. Like I can tell you myself. I just make what I feel like
Yeah,
making,
well, I've noticed that you have like all different genres that you're tackling.
yeah,
It's really cool.
I, yeah. I just because for me, I always said before comics, I just wanted to write. That's honestly all I always wanted to do is
Right.
write. So I don't want to be stuck to writing comics because that's what the audience wants. I
Mhm.
want to write what I want to write. It's and the only way I can do that is by writing what I want to write. I have to get in the habit of it now, not become some famous person doing comics and I hate doing comics and I have to do comics because everybody wants me to do comics. I don't that's not the path I want to go.
Yeah.
I want to write the comics when I feel like writing this
Right.
because I feel like writing. I want to write for my children, do
Right.
all that stuff. But
Yeah. I
yep.
I want to try some prose novels. I want to do some children books. I want
Hmm.
to do all that type of things, you know.
Hmm. Yep. Yep. That's just explore and figure out what you like, what you're good at.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yep. Not trying to cater to. I mean, I want people to like it, but I don't do it for people to like it. It's just I do it
Right.
because
Right.
that's what I want to do.
You got to please yourself first.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. If I'm not
You-
happy with it.
right. Yeah. And guess what?
Yeah.
I'm happy with
Mhm.
your work.
I appreciate it. Appreciate
So you got,
it.
and my kids love it too. So you,
And
you accomplished your job. At least, you know, I always say if at least one person likes your stuff, you're doing your job right.
yeah,
You know?
I agree, and I do appreciate it.
And I know there's more than me who love your work. There's a lot of people who love your work,
yeah,
and you got to keep on doing what you're doing.
I appreciate it, and likewise with you because I do miss you and comics and your books because like you were one of the first reviews that I wrote, and one of the people who actually I would honestly tell you this right now, and I'm
Mhm.
not making this up because of what you just said. I You were one of the first people that really made me pay attention to indie comics. Like
Right.
there was a lot of people who made independent comics, but the quality just never was there, and the storytelling you just always trying to. But your work was polished, your stories were polished. It was great stuff, and it just gave me hope. Like even when I wrote the reviews, everybody was wanted to read more about your work because I was excited because I did. It was just for me. It was like the first input into there, and I really
Right.
since then I appreciated all the work you've created since. So
Thank you so much.
uh,
Thank you.
you did a great
Yeah.
job.
I'm hoping I can do it again.
No, I'm sure you can. I'm sure you can. Right now, you got to be there for the babies, but
I
let's
know.
get a little.
And you know, it's even harder now in the indie publishing right now.
yeah,
You know,
yeah, it is. It
and you know,
is.
I had a lot of good reviews for my
Mhm.
earlier work, and you know, I thought I would just skyrocket right away, but you know, it
Mhm.
just just stayed there.
Eh, yeah,
So you know, you
it's
just got to
tough.
keep on pushing until you get there.
Hmm. And like I said, a lot of people that I know, I'm looking at people who started at the same time I did, and I'm seeing some people are pushing through, but they're pushing through now, and it's great. I'm happy for them and everything, but it's like if I kept pushing so that I make it now, the sacrifice that I will make with the children will not be. It just would not be worth it. It would not be worth not having the time with them so that I just break through today. It's
Yeah,
because I
yeah,
feel like I wouldn't be there with them. I wouldn't see them grow and see all the things that I got to see in the last, 10 years because, I was pursuing that. So I'm willing to work now and in 5 years I make it than working all those years to just make it now.
right,
I
right.
just I see it better that way. I prefer prefer going the other way.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the choice I'm choosing. Unless,
All right,
as I said earlier, they
Yeah.
give me more money, then I'll take it. But I'm
Hey.
good.
Yeah. I gotta say,
All right.
the one good thing about the pandemic, if there's a good thing, okay, is that it actually pushed me to do more stuff, creatively, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Same here. Here. The second half of the pandemic. The first half, I was flying and how are we gonna take care? How are we gonna teach these kids?
These kids are driving me mad. They're home all day.
But after the first wave, then I started figuring out, okay, I got a little time. I can do some things.
It was like it was kind of like the end of the world there for a little bit, you know?
Yeah, that's what it felt like. But
I mean, I'm sure it's gonna end one day, I guess, you know?
Yeah. Hopefully not soon, though. Hopefully not soon.
Oh, not the world. I mean the pandemic.
Oh, the pandemic. Oh, yeah, the pandemic. Yeah, please, soon. That one, yes, please end soon. I thought you said the world.
No, not the world. I don't want the world to end soon. No. All right. On that note. All right. It was a pleasure to be talking with you. And again,
likewise.
Let's do it again. All right.
Yeah, definitely. Let's do it again.
And
it was great chatting with you.
You can pick up Jacques Nyemb's book at Not So Super Comic. No, what was it? Not So
Super dot pub.
Yes.
Like publisher, pub.
Okay, and I'm gonna leave links on the bottom of the screen here, and I hope you check them out. All right. That's the end of the show. Now, I'm your Geeky Dad.
And I'm Ariana. And I'm Rayon. And we're the Multiverse Kids.
And we're here to say...
Happy Thanksgiving!
To all your loved ones and family members. Join us next week. And subscribe.
Hit the bell and like.
Yes. Goodbye. Just because the show ends doesn't mean the fun has to end. We're now on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. We want to hear from you. Tell us what you like about the show. Tell us what you don't like about the show. Help us. We want to work together with you. So, check us out.